I'm hoping Future Wesley already filmed an intro. This is the engine out of a 1995 Mercedes-Benz S600. It's an M120. It's a dual overhead cam 48 valve motor making about 400 horsepower. And it solves a few of the other problems that we are going to face on our other Mercedes-Benz V12. So here's what we're going to do with this. Step one is to build an engine stand for this to sit on and actually be fairly reliable, because we're going to fire this up on the stand. Second of all, we're going to pull all of everything that we don't need off, build the individual throttle bodies for it, build the exhaust for it, and then fire it up on the test engine stand and make sure it runs and see how it sounds and see how it does. So obviously for these base rails, this is going to be the strongest direction, but wheel don't fit there. So we got to go like this. And I mean, this is like 125 wall, 3x2. It's plenty strong. We're good. I still don't know if I'm going to bolt. I really don't want to drill holes and bolt this, but like it's kind of bad to just weld it. I don't know. We'll see. A motor mount. There's two of these, ideally. I don't feel like setting up the TIG. We're just gonna go MIG. I'm super flammable, but whatever. All right, I got it finished welded up. We're gonna set the motor on it. I always forget that cherry pickers don't really work because they're of the width and stuff. But anyways, we're gonna give it a shot. You may notice that there's nothing holding up the back of the motor. And I have a solution for that, but you're not gonna like it. So here we go. There we go. Told you you weren't gonna like it. Okay, the idea is that goes right in there like that. And then that ain't going anywhere. All right, time for teardown. We're gonna start by just getting it down to a long block, plus or minus some accessories, and then build up from there with the headers and the individual throttle bodies, and kind of see what other problems that we have to solve here. So, cool.
I heard a ringing bell this morning.
Maybe not. Okay, here we go. Come on. What's holding you now? Okay, there we go. I have plans for you. Nice.
Time goes slowly, the world gets lonely. When you got
All right. Audio mark 1. Okay, that was easy. All right, so obviously we're doing individual throttle bodies. I built an entire set for that motor using Hayabusa throttle bodies, and we're going to do the same thing here. That I went directly off of the head flanges and built an intake manifold coming up from there. This I'm going to experiment around. I think I'm going to use this original manifold, which allows me to use the factory fuel rail and fuel system and fuel injectors and everything, and then shift everything over and build an adapter onto the Hayabusa throttle bodies. First step is let's cut this open and see if that's even an idea. But yeah, that's what we're starting with. We may not do this.
since I was a child. When I was young and wild, nobody could ever tell me there was nothing to overwhelm me. I thought I was cool when I left school. Took some time for me to realize I don't need this disguise. Baby, come, let's move on. 'Cause if I show my love, it dance through the night.
Hi everybody, and welcome back to the world's worst slot machine, where it gives you stainless pipe instead of money. Okay, so pushing this to the side for the moment, we have some plans for some headers, and that we are going to weld out and build together, which should be kind of fun. I've already gone through and done a few of the smaller pieces, like these flanges that come out of 45, which originally were invented to clear the oil filter on cylinder number that one, and eventually ended up coming out of all of them because it looks kind of pretty. And we needed to convert from an oval into a circle, which that's also a thing that needed to happen. They are somewhat equal. They're pretty close. They're not quite perfectly equal length headers, but they're pretty close. Oh, for my corners and for my 90s that aren't exactly 90, I 3D printed some little adapters so they slide over the outside of the tube. Like that. Cut it. Call it a day. I also really need to get welding because it's cold. And it's cold for Phoenix. So it's like 50. I always wonder when you see those guys build the titanium headers for Lamborghinis and stuff, if they too use zip ties and masking tape and an Amazon tripod as fixture holding. I'm gonna take a guess and say they don't. But who knows? Okay, well, that's not bad. Because vacuum is so sensitive on individual throttle bodies, I didn't really feel like running our crankcase vacuum into our ITB rails. It did not work on the old Porsche cart, it's not going to work on this, and it just throws the numbers everywhere. Where the factory lines come out, I ran 2 oil catch cans, built a little bracket for it, and then plumbed that all into the M137 smog pump, and am just running that as the intake. I'm running clear line for the sole fact that I wanted to make sure it didn't pump gallons of oil right off the bat, but I'm having no issues, so I'm going to switch it over to a standard crankcase breather line. Wiring on this isn't actually too bad, despite the spaghetti at the beginning. I'm just following the outline in the MS3 Pro Ultimate manual. The injectors get one powered and then one of your injector outputs down to the box. From there, the temp sensors just get a reference ground and an output. Throttle position gets a reference ground, a reference 5-volt, and then a signal wire. Coils are actually run through a quad spark, then they run up to a wasted spark system, so 2 spark plugs per coil. 1 pin drives both of those, and then it has a 12-volt hot. Cam position is a standard VR sensor from Mercedes, develops a AC signal, so it just gets its 2 wires hooked up to positive and negative. And then a Hall effect on the crank position is a 3-wire, so you have a ground, a VREF, and a signal wire. Same with oil pressure, and idle air temperature works the same as a temperature sensor, a reference ground, and a positive. Alright, so today's the day. This angle of the shop is not seen very often for a reason. We have to fill it with water, fill it with fuel, which I'm still using the the fuel tank out of the old Porsche cart, which I learned to weld aluminum on, and it shows, so I'm going to label it appropriately. Everything else should be good to go, so in theory this should fire up once we give it a little bit of electricity and once we give it some water. All I did on the coolant lines was reroute them a little bit so that they are going to the 2 radiators on the Porsche cart. For this testing, we're not going to run it really hard, so it should be fine. That's a good start. After a while, we're still, I think it's at least idling, so a little bit. We're doing okay, but yeah. I think this is where I'm gonna leave it for today. We'll see. Now we'll see if it starts back up. I think I'm cutting my head off.